All right. Hey, everybody. Rob here again. So this is my week 4 video, just to help you with the week 4 reading and assignments. This is going to be a really short one. I don't feel like there's a lot that I really need to help you with. I think the reading for this week is pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand. So I just wanted to kind of take a minute and tell you a couple things about it, a couple other things related to the class. I have some notes here. Let's see. First of all, I'll probably email this out too, but let me mention that I posted a survey on the discussion forum, and it's private. Your post there can only be read by me. So if you want to go fill out the survey, I'd really appreciate it. Basically, the point of it is I'm still creating this class as we go. It's the first time I've taught it, so I've tried to stay a couple weeks ahead of where you guys are. I'm actually getting a little behind that right now, but that's kind of my goal. But still, the second half of the class is pretty unplanned. So if you guys have feedback, what's working, what's not working, specific topics we should look at, anything like that, I'd love to hear those. I would try very hard to incorporate them into what's left of the class. So check the survey. It's on the discussion forum. The reading for this week is out of the Waterman text. It's chapters 5 through 10. And I guess I want to start by mentioning that the authors here are very opinionated. You'll notice that they have strong opinions and they make no bones about it. You don't have to agree with them. I don't agree with them on everything they say, but they actually do mention in a couple points in the book that they are expressing their opinions not to get you to agree with them, but just to kind of bring up conversations and bring up issues. So treat it that way, but be aware of that. Understand that they have some strong opinions. In fact, I'll give you a couple of examples. At the start of chapter 7, they say, actually, it's good to mention maybe starting in chapter 7, it's a new section. The book kind of changes. They get away from kind of the philosophical issues to more specific applications and issues. So they start off chapter 7 by saying, now let's get down to cases. Enough generalizations. Let's talk about some very specific things that are going on that ought to stop. So pretty heavily opinionated. At another point, they're talking about the use of plastic ribbon, like a little plastic flagging on trees, which is used for all sorts of things out in the woods. And they say, in our view, plastic ribbon in the backcountry is litter. Pure, basic litter of a most unforgivable kind. So, they're opinionated. At some points, I think maybe they seem a little bit elitist. Some points, I think they're kind of unrealistic. Like they'll say, hey, I wish people would act this way, but in the real world, we know not everybody's going to act that way. So, just be aware of that. Try to get what you can get from it. And the reflection piece for this week has you talk a little bit about the Watermans and whether you agree or disagree with them. So feel free to disagree if you do. Otherwise, as far as the reading, I think, the most important concept here, it's a really easy one, but the main part of chapter 5, the title of it actually, is Values in Conflict. So one of the classes that I teach most often here at EMCC is ethics, just plain old ethics 101. And we do a lot of case studies in there. And I start off every single case study by asking students, what are the values in conflict? Because every ethical dilemma is a conflict between two good values. We often talk about right versus right situations in that class, because a true ethical dilemma is a dilemma because it seems like it could be right to do this. It seems like it could be right to do that. So when they're right versus right, there are values in conflict. So that's part of what I want to emphasize and bring up, and that's a big part of your reflection piece this week, is I give you some specific issues to look at. I want you to think about those values in conflict. As far as the authors being opinionated, again, they express their opinions on things like sounds and noise in the backcountry, group size, bright clothing, plastic tape, stuff like that. Just to give you one example, they are very adamant. They don't like bright clothing out in the woods. They think you should wear really drab stuff that kind of blends in and makes you not stand out, so that other people don't see so many people up on the mountainside. That's one of those areas where I think, they kind of sound like a couple of old curmudgeons. They want you to wear 1970s wool suits, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But I've actually heard the exact opposite argument. I've heard, most outdoorsy high-end clothing now is pretty bright. And I've heard people say if you're going to be out in the snow or out in kind of low light levels doing dangerous things, It's good to wear bright clothing because you're more visible. If you get rescued or you get lost from your party or anything like that, bright clothing makes you a lot easier to spot. So I don't know. They're values in conflict, right? I want to mention specifically, especially to you AMC folks, you'll notice that on page 71, they pick out the Appalachian Mountain Club and kind of pick on you for being the only group, as they tell it, in the Northeast not to place limits on group size. So I don't know if that's still the case. The book is a little old, but I'm really curious what you guys think of that. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's about it. They talk a bit about guidebooks at the end, and whether guidebooks create demand for an area by telling people about how great it is and making people want to go there, or whether people going to a place and needing assistance and making it popular create the demand for the guidebook. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting issue, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's basically it. Yeah. Have fun. I think it's interesting reading, and I think you'll have fun with the reflection piece this week. I've certainly been enjoying reading them and watching them, and let me make a plug that a few brave souls have made some really good videos. They're all posted on the class YouTube channel. So check them out. Feel free to comment on them and tell people they've done a good job if you enjoy their videos. They're good. I like to see them. All right. Anyway, I think that's about it. As you know, if you're watching these videos, I always give you a chance to get a bonus point, and they're usually based on something nearby or close to my mind. So today I'm happening to make this video on November 1st, so yesterday was Halloween. So let me tell you a little bit about Halloween at my house. I happen to live on a place called Maple Street in Bangor, and for some reason over the years that has become the place to go. Like, they block off the street, people drive in from all over the area, and we got, for the third year in a row, we got right about 2,500 trick-or-treaters last night. So it's pretty mad, wild scene at my house. So if you want a bonus point, email or text me anything about Halloween, really, or say that I got 2,500 trick-or-treaters, something like that. That'll let me know that you're watching. And thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.